I heard you're free on Wednesdays.
I mean, Donald Trump has been laying this out for weeks. I mean, as Kristen knows, by going to rallies, he's been traveling with an empty podium next to him, saying anytime, any place. So really the only missing piece of this puzzle was President Biden. But at every recent Trump rally, there's been an empty podium that says anytime, any place. So Donald Trump is out there saying he will debate. But those are the significant things. Earlier debates and a one-on-one debate. With that shade thrown in, we hear you're free on Wednesdays.
I think we can expect a response in 3, 2, 1 from Donald Trump on social media, at least, for that new reporting. Again, we're just hearing this breaking news that President Joe Biden says he will debate Donald Trump twice, but he wants it to be one-on-one, and there's some other conditions. Make my day, pal. President Biden challenging former President Trump to a debate, maybe even 2. A challenge. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. President Biden throwing a big political punch this morning and challenging Donald Trump to 2 debates, but with a condition. And Trump just accepted. And again, we will be talking about how Donald Trump just responded online to this challenge.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
What are you hearing from Trump's campaign? I know he has just gone online and responded to this, but those were some pretty tough words and some shade thrown at him, saying, I'm sure you're free on Wednesdays. I hear you're free on Wednesdays, which, by the way, is the day when court is dark in his criminal case.
That he accepts. He wrote, quote, "Crooked Joe Biden is the worst debater I have ever faced." The Post goes on to say, "I am ready and willing to debate Crooked Joe at the 2 proposed times in June and September. I would strongly recommend more than 2 debates and, for excitement purposes, a very large venue." It goes on to say, "Just tell me when, I'll be there. Let's get ready to rumble." From all of my conversations with the Trump campaign, they are genuine and sincere in their desire to have these debates. They think that Joe Biden will appear like the weaker candidate if they can get these 2 men on stage.
It's President Biden throwing down the gauntlet by challenging Trump. President Biden there channeling a little dark Brandon, maybe Dirty Harry there, saying, make my day.
Today on Inside Politics, Joe Biden and Donald Trump don't agree on much, but they do agree on this. It's time to debate. They both accepted an invitation from CNN to hold the first presidential debate. That will be in just 43 days. All the breaking details are coming up. Joe Biden and Donald Trump agreed this morning to 2 debates, including one right here on CNN on June 27th.
Here's what Trump said himself on an interview with Hugh Hewitt earlier today.
Oh, absolutely. I've been trying to get, he's issuing it. I wonder whether or not he shows up because, he also challenged me to golf. So I'm a very good golfer. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He said, I'll give him 3 aside. But he knows he'll never play. This is sort of like that, I think. But I hope not, because I really think he has to debate. He might as well get it over with. Probably should do it early so that he can, he's not going to get any better.
But June and September is great.
It's a down factor for him.
I myself would never recommend going on a stage with Donald Trump, but the president has decided that's what he wants to do. I think the format he is suggesting is a good one. I think you all should have separate town hall meetings with them, let them challenge them with questions about the future, and let the public make its decision.
But I think his fundamental problem is that he physically seems much older than Donald Trump.
And the reality is, it's an inflation problem. It's a price problem. So there's no messaging around the fact that your groceries cost more. I mean, when I talk to voters, that is what even people who like the president are worried about, the prices of things. So look, a lot of these things are out of the president's control, but he owns this economy. But he wants to show a contrast every day of the week. Today's Wednesday. That's why they did this today. And here we are.
Rematch. After years of insults, name-calling, and attacks, President Biden and his Republican rival Donald Trump agreeing to a showdown right here on CNN's debate stage.
I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Biden taking a jab there, needling the former president, talking about Wednesday, which is when the hush money trial is not in session. So an obvious reference to Trump's ongoing legal woes.
President Biden and former President Trump putting it in writing, saying that they will face off in 2 debates, one in just weeks.
I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
That last comment, a snarky jab at Donald Trump's court schedule in New York. Trial is not held on Wednesdays, like today.
I really think he has to debate. He might as well get it over with. Probably should do it early so that he can, he's not going to get any better.
Mark your calendars, because 6 weeks from tomorrow, Thursday, June 27th, it's Biden, Trump, and a debate rematch right here on CNN.
So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
That last remark, if it stood out to you, it also stood out to me. It's notable because you don't often hear President Biden weighing in on Donald Trump's legal cases. He almost never does. That reference there to today, a Wednesday, that's because it's a rare day not in court for Donald Trump right now.
Rumors about him. It's a high wire act. I mean, look, Biden, they have got to change the narrative and the trajectory of this campaign. He's been president for 13 quarters. There's never been a president in the history of modern polling at this point below 40%. He's sitting in the 38% range. They have to change the narrative on, is he capable of a second term? They got to change the narrative on the economy. They got to change the narrative of the framing that Trump has successfully put on this campaign. I'm strong, he's weak, and it infects everything. The debate is a Hail Mary to try to get that done, because if that hardens, if that is cemented for too much longer, he'll never dig out of this hole.
I mean, do they need to do
If
here?
you care about polling in May, I have a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. Like, they don't matter.
Why? Why?
Because they don't matter. It's a snapshot in time. Nobody
Joe
votes in May.
Biden never trailed a poll in 20. He never leads a poll now.
It's a snapshot
You know,
in time.
you know it matters.
But it doesn't matter. And let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Because the fundamentals are what they are.
Look, I think the debate is going to happen for a multitude of reasons. I think there are arguments for it and against it on both sides. I think that President Trump and Republicans believe the sooner we remind the American people that Joe Biden seems to have a very difficult time standing at a podium for extended periods of time, the better. I think conversely, there's the opportunity for Joe Biden to avoid the proverbial October surprise, the things that pop up late in election seasons that tend to upend the election calendar and have people thinking about different issues. So ultimately, again, there are arguments for, there are arguments against. But I think if you're a Republican, if you're President Trump, anytime you get to have the American people forced to have Joe Biden put forth examples of why he has been successful over the last 4 years, I think that is an actual challenge that they will accept time and time again. And just to play the contrarian, look, I think that everyone expects that it's going to be a repeat of 2020, that they're going to perhaps joust and yell at each other. I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I would encourage President Trump to employ more of a rope-a-dope approach. The more Joe Biden talks, the better it is for him. And I think that if you're looking at how President Trump got to this place, it will be because of the fact that while Biden keeps trying to tell the American public that everything is working, that the Inflation Reduction Plan was a success, they are feeling the fact that it has not been as successful as he would like them to believe. And so I think issue by issue, forcing Joe Biden to have to defend that record without having to use the phrase Donald J. Trump, I think actually helps President Trump. And if he abides by the rules that Joe Biden asked for, and he is unable to get over that very low hurdle, I think you're going to see a continuing of this trend of those voters in those swing states running away from the incumbent Joseph Robinette Biden.